would not be able to control. Lord, that saying Mr. Rohgi gave this money to this, then they have their own conclusion.
Mr. Solicitor, we are only concerned about enforcing the directions which we issued in clauses B and C of Para 221.
That's
As judges, we decide according to the Constitution.
correct, my lord.
We are governed by the rule of law. We are also the subject matter of comment in the social media and the press. But surely, as an institution, our shoulders are broad enough.
No, I'm saying, I'm not, my lord, for a second
Our
saying.
court has an institutional role to play in a polity which is governed by the Constitution and the rule of law. That's the only job.
My lord, my purpose is to inform your lordships that there is something else playing out which neither your lordships intended nor the scheme intended. And, my lord, kindly bear that fact in mind. On 11th of March, my lord, we thought that we are ad idem, that this information would help the voter to take a call whether to vote in favor of a particular party or not. My lord, thereafter, this started in a very systemic.
All right. Order.
Can I assist you?
No, Mr. Rodgi, we don't need assistance right now at the conclusion of the matter.
I am the person who's going to.
Lord, they have no stakes in the matter.
Forget my application.
No, Mr. Rodgi, we will not hear you when your application. We have to follow procedure in the court. It's a constitutional court.
Allow us.
Mr. Rodgi, no, Mr. Rodgi. I told you the reason for it. We are now at a stage when the judgment.
I am not on my application. Not that it become influential. I am now only saying.
No, Mr. Rodgi, we don't need any assistance at all. We are clear. We had very able assistance on both sides. We don't need any third party assistance.
I didn't get a proper assistance.
So just one thing. The grievance of those who will now be deemed that you have A party, you have given to B party, that will be.
That was
Lord, one more clarification.
What we gave to the government under a scheme.
Mr. Rodgi, there's only one simple answer.
Yes.
With effect from the 12th of April 2019, when we directed the collection of all details, everybody was put on notice that hereafter, the details which you furnished would be subject to the result of the petition. Therefore, in drawing the balance, we did not ask for the disclosure of details prior to the interim order of the court. And that was a very conscious and well thought out decision of the Constitution bench.
Was it the intention of the court to know which man paid where, so that if he pays A party, he will be subject to victimization?
Answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Lord, only one line, my lord. Only one line, my lord. Mr. Bhushan may, my lord, now hold his horse.
Pursuant to your.
He has done, my lord, substantial assistance. I don't have to formally disassociate myself with today's mentioning, my lord. That my disassociating from Mr. Agarwal doesn't mean that I am.
Mr. Solicitor, irrespective of
but maybe treated as well.
We must tell you that we respect this very responsible approach which the Solicitor General has adopted because, clients apart, who you are representing apart.
It is really painful, my lord, when the people before the court start, my lord, a media campaign to embarrass the judges.
Thank you for saying that you don't
very, my lord, painful.
With the mentioning. Thank you for saying that you don't associate.
Because there is no level playing field. I can't hold a press conference.
Only grievance is that it was not a justiciable issue. Yeah, Solicitor General did not raise it. It is not a matter of pure policy. I read the entire judgment. It was entirely a policy issue. It is not justiciable at all. That's all I want to say. The people of this country feel that a decision was taken behind their back. When the parliament decides, they were present in the parliament. It is with their consent. When your lordship decides, we are.
Last order, the election commission has put out the sealed covers, but that's very interesting that those sealed covers show that some of the smaller parties have disclosed the donors.
We don't have to go into all that, Mr. That's not our remit at all. What has happened after the judgment is not something we are concerned with.
Not after the judgment. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is this, that since the order of the...
Very recently, I was asked about a critique on a judgment. I need not mention which judgment. And I said that, look, it's no part of the role of a judge, least of all of a constitutional court or even a civil judge, to defend their views. Once we declare a judgment, it becomes public property. It's the property of the nation. If there is the property of the nation. And,
I was only saying that your lordship's interim order of April 2019 asked the political parties to disclose the name of the donor. the information given by the political parties to the Election Commission, only a few of the political parties, the smaller regional political parties, some of them have
He
disclosed.
is not
the names of
addressing
the
your
twen-
lordships, he is addressing somewhere else.
The-
Kindly hear him
the-
for some time.
Correct.
So that it
No,
comes,
it's
my lord, in the
amazing.
newspaper
Amazing.
tomorrow, that
The-
Mr. Prashant Bhushan
Amazing.
vehemently said this. That's
Amazing.
the purpose.
I'm
Solicitor,
pointing out
unfortunately,
something.
public interest litigations have now become publicity interest litigation.
It is
Absolutely.
publicity interest litigation.
I
It
am
is, my lord,
pointing
there
out
are some hidden agendas. There
Something.
is no doubt, my lord, and I am not, my lord, apologetic in saying.
I'm astonished.
And my lord, that is the matter of greatest concern, because judgments given, my lord, for high constitutional principles then are used for purposes other than what they are delivered. Unfortunately,
Lordships, in your lordship's majesty,
So
would
what I
not
was
know,
pointing
my
out-
lord, what are the hidden agendas behind it.
Just dictate a short order. I
I
think,
just
we
point
are
out that
unnecessarily expanding upon the remit.
because the major political parties have not disclosed the donor.
Just give us 2 minutes to dictate the
Therefore,
order.
what all that I'm requesting is that the disclosure of the details of the bonds should actually start from the beginning of the issue of the bonds, not just from the interim order, because this is leading to a situation.
1 second, we got the point. You filed an application on that. In our order.
They have filed an
Just, Mr. Ansari, just 1 moment. Do it in a very cool and calm atmosphere. It's a constitutional adjudication.
Yes.
Why should we, in our interim order, we said that the disclosure shall be made with effect from the date of the interim order.
Yes.
12th of April 2019.
Yes.
Right or wrong, we have taken a conscious decision that the cutoff will be the date of our interim order. And we also explain why we took that date. We said after that date, of course, the Constitution Bench has an option to go all the way back from the date of the bond or from the date of the judgment, some place via media, some via media in between. We took 12th of April 2019 because it was our considered view of all of us five that once that interim order was pronounced, everybody was on notice, what we told Mr. Rodgi. Now we have maintained that if you want that to go back to 2018, that's in the nature of a review of the
So
judgment.
the only reason why I'm saying that,
modify that date.
no, the only reason, because your lordship asked the political parties to give donor details to the election commission prior to that interim order. And while some of the political parties have given donor details, other political parties have not given donor details. The major political parties have not given donor details. And one political party, which is in power in one of the states, says, if somebody came and left it under our door, 10 crores of electoral bonds was left under our door, we don't know who it was. So therefore, I am saying that because this is leading to a situation, though your lordship asked the political parties to disclose donor details by that interim order, only some political
Mr.
parties.
Bhushan, we have understood that argument, but what we are directing was the numbers are given, it will sort out a lot of problems, a lot of your issues will get
But for that period of 2018 till
solved. That will.
April
we are not
2019,
sitting in a review.
We have taken a conscious decision.
we are
Please
faced
file
with a
review.
situation where the
Mr. Bhushan, this will really be a substantive modification of the judgment. We can't do it like this in a miscellaneous application.
no.
And
In the light of the disclosure which has come to light of the political parties, that's why I'm saying.
it was not a
If the
classical
political
decision,
parties
it was
had
conscious.
disclosed the donor details, this would not be required.
Draw the line somewhere, we had to hold the balance. We've held the balance ultimately.
As your
at
lordship
212.
pleases, but
His lordship may consider, my lord, I have pointed out that 6 details may be necessary, my lord. One is the serial number, because they say 28,030 bonds have been issued. The second would be the date.
1 second. When you say serial number, you mean the alphanumeric,
Total
right?
number of bonds issued are 28,030. I'm not saying just. When a lordship said all details, my lord, in my respectful submission, it will be.
Mr. Sarve has been.
No, my lord, lordship, just permit me a minute.
Sarve has fairly stated that he will
No,
disclose all the details.
No,
Why?
yes, yes, my lord.
No, my lord, if I can just show.
And date are all already
Consider what your
disclosed.
lordship would say, my lord. I'm just pointing out what details can be there. First is serial number. Second is the date. The third would be alphanumerical number. Fourth column would be name of the donor. Fifth column would be the name of a political party. And sixth column would be the amount. My lord, this will cover all the details, my lord, in my respectful submission.
My lord, this is now asking us to sit down and collate one
This
with
is a
the other.
submission made to the court. Just like Mr. Salve made a submission to the court, I'm making.
Yeah, we need.
Very well, I'm making a submission to the court, Mr. Salve, asking us to do whatever. Look,
Please permit the, my lord, the
Well,
chief justice to
uh,
dictate the order now at least.
Secondly, my lord, the lordship said, lordship has seen that IA, my lord, I filed that IA. For a pre-period, if a lordship have taken a conscious decision on that aspect of the matter, my lord, lordship may say, my lord, because the order said, my lord, the voters are entitled to know as a right of information. If a lordship have taken a conscious decision on that matter, my lord, it will be from 12th of April only, because we said, my lord, it should be, my lord. Otherwise, logically, once the right to know, my lord, is inbuilt in the system, in right to know of the voter, then, very well, I'll leave it at that.
And there's a specific direction with effect from 12th April.
Then your lordship said, I will not press the
So
application.
Bhujan, there will be no end to it.
IA, what is the IA number, Mr. Ansari? Just 1 second, Mr. Bhujan. IA number which you are not pressing is IA number?
Diary number 12580-2024, which is MA number, MA diary number.
So that you are not pressing.
Yes, my lord.
Just
Just
one,
say MA
by way
diary
of
number
information on
12580/2024. Mr. Vijay Hansaria, Learned Senior Counsel, appearing on behalf of the applicant, states after some submissions at the bar that the miscellaneous application is not pressed.
In view of,
one
my lord,
thing.
whatever proceedings have gone to the court, in view of the proceedings before
Whatever in view of whatever.
Lord, if your lordship can say that, my lord.
Oh,
Otherwise,
what? In view of what? In view, we'll say, in view of the specific directions contained in paragraph 200, in paragraph 219, bracket B and C of the judgment of this court dated 15 February 2024.
just one fact by way of information.
Enough of assistance by this public spirited person, my lord.
the
Your
details-
lordship doesn't need any further assistance.
The details of the number of bonds shown by the, in the data. which
He is
has been
gathering the
submitted,
details for a future PIL, my lord,
The
so that
number of bonds-
remains in,
the
he remains
number of-
relevant.
Now, please permit the, my lord, the chief justice to dictate the order.
Heard everybody, Mr.
I was just pointing out that there is a huge mismatch between the number of bonds purchased and the number of bonds encashed in the data submitted by the State Bank to the Election Commission. They are showing 18,871 bonds purchased, but showing 20,421 bonds redeemed. The total amount of bonds purchased is 12,155 crores, and the amount redeemed is 12,769 crores, that is 550 crores more than what were purchased. Now, the explanation for this could be because the data is from 12th April. At that time, the bond purchase was going on. On 12th April 2019, it was going on. What is possible is that some of these bonds were purchased prior to 12th April 2019, but redeemed after 12th April 2019, and that is why there is a mismatch. But I just wanted to point out there is a very large mismatch.
There is no, Malad, these figures are not authentic. I've given the authentic
18,000
figures.
versus
Roughly
20,000.
Sponsored
22,000.
NGOs are, my lord, fudging the figures and bringing their own, my lord, your lordships are aware, there is a beautiful, my lord, quotation by Einstein, that some people use statistics like a drunken man uses lamp posts more for support than for illumination.
I'm just showing the number. I'm saying that
And
18,000.
this is what happens
Okay,
when
we'll now
it,
leave it at that. I will
Malad, those numbers are not right. Since, Malad, because all this is going to play out, the numbers are not right. The corrected numbers were not given in our application.
वो अलग order pass कर देंगे. उसमें MA में ऐसा लिख लीजिए. In subpara B and C of paragraph 221 of the judgment of this court dated 15 February 2024, the direction to the SBI to submit details of bracket 1, the electoral bonds purchased, semicolon, and bracket T2, political parties which have received contributions through electoral bonds is specifically since the date of the interim order dated 12 April 2019. Stop. In other words, all details which have been directed to be furnished in the operative directions of this court are with reference to the interim order, are on the basis, don't say on the basis of, are with effect from the date of the interim order, namely 12 April 2019. Full stop. The relief which has been sought in the MA for predating the point of disclosure would amount to a substantive modification of the judgment and hence cannot be dealt with in a miscellaneous application. Full stop. The miscellaneous application is therefore not maintainable and is accordingly dismissed.
I want one more relief to prevent another round of contempt proceedings. Would your lordship just for a minute have my affidavit in compliance for?
What is it that you want clarification?
Yes. Maharaj, there was, when we gave your lordship, that's why I can see all this story has started. When we gave your lordship the original figure of 22,217 bonds, we had, by mistake, that was from 1st of April, not on 12th of April. If your lordship just sees para 4 and Maharaj, everything will be over because I know where this is going, where Mr. Bhushan is going. Please see para 4 of my compliance affidavit for 1 second.
Yes.
And please, I would invite your lordship to say, your lordships accept this. We have given the figures, Maharaj. There is no mismatch, there is nothing of the sort. The total, if your lordship sees the table.
Will not go into all that. I mean,
No, I have to convince my lord I have complied with the order. I'm just saying.
It's a compliance affidavit. It's a compliance affidavit of your chairman and managing director. We have accepted that.
Please say your lordships have accepted our compliance affidavit. That will put an end to all this.
By the judgment of this court dated 15 February 2024, this court directed, into inverted commas, this court directed, into inverted commas, the disclosure of information on contributions received by political parties under the electoral bond scheme to give logical and complete effect, into inverted commas, complete, to the ruling. Full stop. Thereafter, in paragraph 219, this court issued operative directions. Of these directions, in subparagraph B and C are in 2 parts. Full stop. Subpara B requires SBI to submit details of the electoral bonds purchased since the interim order dated 12 April 2019, into inverted commas, till date to the ECI, into inverted commas, complete. Such details, the court has indicated, into inverted commas, shall include the date of purchase of each electoral bond, the name of the purchaser of the bond, and the denomination of the electoral bond purchased, into inverted commas, complete. In the second part of the operative direction, in subpara C, SBI was required to submit, into inverted commas, the details of political parties which have received contributions through electoral bonds, into inverted commas, complete, since the interim order dated 12 April 2019 till date to ECI. Full stop. SBI was required to disclose details of each, underline each electoral bond encashed by political parties, and to include inclusive of the date of encashment and the denomination of the electoral bond. Full stop. The above narration and a plain reading of paragraph 219 of the judgment dated 15 February 2024 indicates that SBI was required to submit all details, both in terms of the purchase and in terms of the receipt of contributions. Full stop. The expression, to invert commas, include in both subparagraphs B and C clearly demonstrate that the inclusive part was regarded as illustrative and not exhaustive of the nature of the disclosure which was to be made by SBI. Full stop. In other words, we now, there's no manner of doubt that SBI is required to make a complete disclosure of all details in its possession. Full stop. This, we clarify, will include would comprehend the alphanumeric number of, and the serial number, if any, of the bonds which were purchased and redeemed. Full stop.
Voting number 1 would be.
The the application, this was on your application, I think you had moved this, no? The application was by Oh, yeah, we had, therefore, Mr. Harishan Salve, London Senior Counsel, states that there is no reservation on the part of SBI in disclosing all details which are in its possession and custody. Full stop. In order to fully effectuate the order and to obviate any controversy in the future, we direct that the Chairman and Managing Director of SBI shall file an affidavit on or before 5 p.m. on Wednesday, date Daldo.
Could we have one more day, Malad? Thursday.
Stating, yes, that's certainly 5 p.m. on Thursday, indicating that SBI has disclosed all details of the electoral bonds which were in its possession and custody, and that no details have been withheld from disclosure. Full stop.
This will be given to the Election Commission.
In terms of the directions contained in paragraph 221.
Your Lordship may indicate the date when it will be uploaded by the Election Commission.
The Election Commission shall upload the details forthwith on the communication by SBI.
My Lord, I had directed my Lord, the senior official of the bank to remain present. My Lord, the Deputy Managing Director and Chief General Manager are present here. The presence may be recorded. They both are.
Fair.
ओ भाई साहब लाइन में आ जाओ। मैं लाइन वाइन में नहीं रुकता।
रैपिडो बाइक वाली टैक्सी सबसे सैक्सी, बाइक वाली टैक्सी सबसे सैक्सी।
Photographers again, do not come in the view of the cameras. Sir, can we start? Namaskar. A very good afternoon, all of you. I would like to formally welcome the press for this press conference. The Honorable Commission has completed their 2-day review of poll preparedness in West Bengal for General Elections 2024. Please, I would request not to come in the front view. I thank the Honorable Commission for taking time out from their busy schedule to brief the media today. This presser is being telecast live on ECI's social media platforms also. We have with us here the Honorable Chief Election Commissioner Shri Rajiv Kumar Sir. The Honorable Election Commissioner Shri Arun Goyal Sir couldn't join the PC because of some health. We also have with us today senior officials from the ECI headquarters in Delhi. We also have the CEO of West Bengal, Dr. Aftab Sir. I am Shri Anuj Chandak, Joint Director Media for the Honorable Commission. The format is as per the following. There will be opening remarks by CEC along with a presentation. We will share the PDF copy of the presentation with all of you after this event is over. Following this, there will be a brief question and answer session. When anyone of the media want to ask a question, kindly raise your hand. Wait for your chance to be called out to put your question. Also introduce your name and organization. The micer will come to you. Please keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Sir, I request you to kindly deliver your remarks, sir.
Chief Electoral Officer of West Bengal, Shri Ariz Aftab, my senior colleagues from the Commission, and friends in very large number from press. A very good morning to you all. Namaskar. First of all, I extend a very warm greetings to each one of you. And we gather here today to discuss the review, to discuss what we did in last 2 days, and tell you about the poll preparedness in West Bengal and in the country in general. West Bengal is the state famous for its celebration and festivities. As you know, there is a popular Bengali saying, 12 maso, 13 parvo. So the election is the 14th parv. जो डेमोक्रेसी का फेस्टिवल है, वो भी एक पर्व है और वो आपके सामने है. Please join in this parv. So first of all, I want to request through you all the voters of West Bengal to join in this coming festival of democracy in an extremely friendly environment and in large numbers. The Commission has its priority, very, very clear priority. Free elections, transparently done, violence free, inducement free. This is what is the focus. How do we do that? And what we discussed in last 2 days, that I will brief you all. There is no place for fear, intimidation or violence in elections. We are determined to make the experience of voting for all the citizens, all the voters, very, very festive and devoid of any kind of a fear or inducement. How would we do that? What political parties mentioned to us, I will all brief you about this. तो साथियों, 2 दिन में हमने सबसे पहले पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज से बातचीत की, सारी एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज से बात की और डीएम्स, एसपीज, आईजीज, डीआईजी, चीफ सेक्रेटरी, डीजी सबसे बातचीत की, सबसे रिव्यू किया. The political parties who came to meet us were national parties like AAP, BSP, BJP, CPIM, Indian National Congress, NPP. और स्टेट पार्टीज में ऑल इंडिया फॉरवर्ड ब्लॉक, ऑल इंडिया तृणमूल कांग्रेस. तो इन सब पार्टीज ने क्या कहा, व्हाट डिड दे आस्क अस, और उन्होंने क्या कहा कि किस तरह से क्या उनके सुझाव हैं, ये पहले मैं आपको बताऊंगा और उसके बाद में हम उस पर क्या कार्रवाई करेंगे ये भी आपके माध्यम से बताऊंगा. सो फर्स्ट, parties said that there must be a level playing field and free, fair and violence-free elections. All the parties mentioned about this. The points they raised was that bureaucracy is not perceived to be neutral. It is compromised and biased. This is what majority of the political parties mentioned. They said lower bureaucracy in particular is not aligned to the free elections and providing level playing field. They say the partial conduct of some of the officers in the recently held elections of other than legislative assembly and parliament must be looked at. There were partisan role of some of the officers and there were strictures against them. ये भी कहा कि जो ट्रांसफर्स पॉलिसी है कमीशन की वो सही से लेटर एंड स्पिरिट में फॉलो हो. One of the party even raised the issue that false cases are filed and even at times nobody is spared. So generally they said थोड़ा भय का वातावरण है, इसलिए इसको ठीक करने की कमीशन कोशिश करे. They said the violence pre-poll, during the poll and after the poll must be curbed. The international borders should be guarded well so that there is no possibility of any kind of nuisance from that side. उनका ये भी कहना था कि वोटर्स का इंटिमिडेशन डिफरेंट फॉर्म में होता है, खासतौर से 7-8 दिन पहले इलेक्शन के, उसको रोका जाए। बहुत से इन्फ्लुएंशियल पर्सन्स ऐसे हैं जो वोटिंग को रोकने की और इन्फ्लुएंस करने की कोशिश करते हैं। कहीं कहीं घटनाएं घटती हैं बॉम्ब थ्रो करने की, मोलेस्टेशन की या इंटिमिडेशन की, उनको रोका जाए। All parties except one asked for adequate deployment of CAPF on all the places for controlling law and order. जो चुनाव का प्रोसेस होगा उसके बारे में पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज की मांग थी कि सीसीटीवी कैमरास ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जगह पर लगाए जाएं। रैलीज की जो परमिशन है या जो भी सुविधाएं पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को दी जाती हैं, दे मस्ट बी गिवन ऑनलाइन सो दैट जो ऑफिशियल्स हैं वो पार्टीसन बिहेवियर ना कर सकें। तो मैं इन सब जितनी चीज़ें मैं बता रहा हूं, इनका जवाब भी मैं आपको अपने बात के एड्रेस में दूंगा। ऑब्जर्वर्स को अधिक से अधिक लगाया जाए और उनके नंबर, फ़ोन नंबर्स पब्लिक को और पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को दिए जाएं ताकि उनसे जब जरूरत हो संपर्क किया जा सके। कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल स्टाफ जो स्टेट में काम करता है, जो सिविक पुलिस है, जो ग्रीन पुलिस है और जो कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल स्टाफ है, उसको चुनाव में ना लगाया जाए। चुनाव में होने वाले इंपर्सोनेशन को रोका जाए। किसी भी एजेंट को बूथ से ना हटाया जाए, ऐसे इंश्योर किया जाए। कुछ पार्टीज का कहना था कि इलेक्शन को एक फेज में किया जाए। ये भी कहना था कि आधार कार्ड अगर कैंसिल हो जाते हैं तो वोटिंग पर कोई असर नहीं पड़ना चाहिए। और ये भी उनका कहना था कि ईवीएम की मशीन्स का प्रोटेक्शन अच्छे से किया जाए, उनको लाने ले जाने में और उनको रखने की जगह का सिक्योरिटी सफिशिएंट तरीके से किया जाए। सो फ्रेंड्स, बिफोर आई गिव यू द डिटेल्स ऑफ व्हाट ईच पॉइंट वाइज, we have given very, very strong instructions in no uncertain terms to the entire bureaucracy कि लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड एस्टेब्लिश करना उनका काम है। किसी भी सूरत में वायलेंस की पूरे चुनाव में कोई जगह नहीं है और मनी पावर की कोई जगह नहीं है। कमीशन इज एब्सोल्युटली डिटरमिन्ड टू एंश्योर दैट voters enjoy the voting. It's a festival. It's not an environment where you are fearful of exercising your right. So this we are determined to establish everywhere. Partisan attitude of the bureaucracy, senior, middle and lower, is a no-go area, will not be tolerated. हमने उनको बहुत स्पष्ट इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिए हैं कि अपने नीचे जितनी भी हायरार्कीज हैं, चाहे वो एसएचओज हों, चाहे वो पुलिस की हों, चाहे वो रेवेन्यू की हों, ये डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट्स और एसपीज की जिम्मेदारी है कि उनको कंट्रोल करें, उनको लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड एस्टेब्लिश करने में इंश्योर करें। अगर वो करेंगे ठीक है, वो नहीं करेंगे तो हम उनसे करवाएंगे और उनको जिम्मेदार ठहराएंगे। So friends, before I answer everything, all these points, let me give you an overview of the election process and election numbers in Bengal. There are 42 parliamentary constituencies, of which 30 are general, 10 SC and 2 ST. If you look at the electors in Bengal, there are total 7.58 crore voters. All these slides would be sent to you immediately after this so that you can use them. Male being 3.85 and female 3.73 crore. We have 4.92 PWD electors. 85 plus electors are 4.86, and you would be happy. There are 5,400 electors who are of the age 100 and plus. That also says about the good in the society. First time voters are now 15.25 lakh. We have done a lot of work to enroll the young voters and the women. Electoral gender ratio in the state has improved to 968, and there are 90 assembly constituencies, 90, where the number of women is more than 1,000. And in 18 to 19 years also their number has increased. So this is 6.57 lakhs. तो जो अभी सर्वे हुआ था उसकी वजह से यंग बच्चों पर और उसमें से गर्ल्स पर बहुत ही फोकस था. If I tell you about the youth, 294 dedicated election-related AEROs were appointed so that they can focus on youth. And there are even advanced applications of the youth which we have received. अगर मैं आपको particularly vulnerable tribal groups के बारे में बताऊं, तो वो 3 PVTGs हैं बंगाल में और उनका 18 प्लस की जितनी पॉपुलेशन है उनका एनरोलमेंट किया गया है. तो व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग, पूरे इलेक्टरल रोल में जिसको होना चाहिए वो हो, यूथ, विमेन, PWDs, 80 प्लस, 85 प्लस, 100 प्लस, ट्रांसजेंडर्स, PVTGs. It is a mosaic which is of the which shows inclusivity, which shows purity, and which shows the health of the electoral roll. And we are happy to go to the elections with a very, very robust, happy electoral roll. Now, if I give you the details about the polling stations, the total number is 80,453. Average voters are 943 in each of the polling station. Rural polling stations are much more than the urban, and we will do at least 50% webcasting of all the polling stations. At least 50%. We can even do more. कुछ पोलिंग स्टेशंस हैं जो सिर्फ महिलाओं के द्वारा, कर्मियों के द्वारा स्थापित होंगे. हम कोशिश करेंगे कि उसमें पुलिस फोर्स भी महिलाओं की हो. ये उनके एक एम्पावरमेंट को प्रदर्शित करने का तरीका. इसी तरीके से कुछ पोलिंग स्टेशंस होंगे जो सिर्फ पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज की तरफ से एस्टेब्लिश होंगे, ताकि हम समाज में एक ये भी उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करें कि दे आर नो लेस देन एनीबडी एल्स एंड दे कैन कंडक्ट इलेक्शंस एंड डू एनीथिंग इन लाइफ एज एनी वन ऑफ अस कैन डू. आपका वोटर्स का एक्सपीरियंस हमारे पोलिंग स्टेशंस में अच्छा हो, इसके लिए बहुत तैयारी की जा रही है. एक्सपीरियंस को अच्छा बनाने के लिए बूथ्स विल बी हैविंग, all booths will be on ground floor, will have toilet, will have ramp, wheelchairs, electricity, toilets, drinking water, and also shade, because it would be a season of, there would be a lot of heat during that season. So, persons with disability के लिए wheelchair भी रहेगी, वहाँ एक volunteer भी रहेगा, और एक फॉर्म 12D भर के, अगर वो ये चाहते हैं कि उन्हें घर से वोट देना है और उनकी 40% से अधिक अगर डिसेबिलिटी है, तो उनको हम घर से भी वोट देने की सुविधा देंगे. और उसी प्रकार से जो हमारे एल्डर्स हैं, उनमें अगर 85 प्लस के जितने भी एल्डर्स हैं, उनको भी हम घर से वोट देने की सुविधा देंगे. हालांकि एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि लोग फेस्टिवल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी में बूथ पर ही आना चाहते हैं. फ्रेंड्स, इफ आई गो टू द नेक्स्ट, हम इन चुनावों में टेक्नोलॉजी का बहुत इस्तेमाल करने वाले हैं. एक आपको सिर्फ 2-3 के बारे में मैं जरूर बता दूं, ताकि आपके माध्यम से लोगों को ये पता लग सके. एक वोटर हेल्पलाइन है, इसमें आप सब चीज़ देख सकते हैं. किसी वोटर को अपना पोलिंग स्टेशन देखना है, अगर उसका मोबाइल नंबर अंदर में है सीडेड, तो वो एपिक कार्ड भी डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, BLO से भी कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं और मतदाता सूची में अपना नाम भी जांच कर सकते हैं. Another important application is C-Vigil, Citizens Be Vigilant. इसमें आपका सहयोग खास तौर से हमें चाहिए. अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति शिकायत हो रही है, कोई गड़बड़ी हो रही है, अगर कहीं कोई हिंसा की तैयारी हो रही है, कहीं कोई पैसा बांटने की तैयारी हो रही है, लीकर की तैयारी है, ड्रग्स की तैयारी है, इरेगुलर टाइम में कैंपेनिंग हो रही है, तो इस एप्लीकेशन से या तो लिखकर या तो फोटो खींचकर हमें भेज दें. जहां से भी भेजा गया, वहां का लोकेशन हम खुद से ले लेंगे, उसके लॉन्गिट्यूड और लैटिट्यूड से, और विद इन 100 मिनट्स हमारी टीम जांच की वहां पहुंचेगी, जांच करेगी, एक्शन लेगी और ये बताएगी भी कि क्या बात सही थी, पार्शियली सही थी और उस पर क्या एक्शन लिया गया. सो प्लीज पॉपुलराइज दिस. आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट जितने भी जागरूक सिटीजन्स हैं, वोटर्स हैं बंगाल के, उनसे रिक्वेस्ट है, उनसे अनुरोध है कि अगर कहीं भी कोई गड़बड़ी की शिकायत है तो प्लीज हेल्प अस, एंड वी गारंटी दैट आवर टीम विल रीच इन राइट टाइम एंड लेट यू नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. जो कैंडिडेट्स ने हमसे कहा था, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज ने, कि उनको सुविधाओं की बराबर में मिलनी चाहिए, जो मांग थी उनकी, तो उनकी ये मांग हम सुविधा पोर्टल से पूरी करेंगे। जो भी पहले अप्लाई करेगा उसको पहले मिलेगा, फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट। अगर एक ग्राउंड को किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ने समय में मांगा कि हमें इस तिथि को, इस डेट को, इस समय पर ये चाहिए, उसको वही समय पर मिलेगा। जो सेकंड पर्सन विल नॉट गेट इट। सो दिस विल एस्टेब्लिश द लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड इन allotment of all the entitlements to the political parties and candidates. Friends, this is another very important right which the citizens have to know your candidate. किसी कैंडिडेट का अगर कोई क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड है तो इस एप्लीकेशन में उनकी फोटो, उनको क्या क्या उनके ऊपर में क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटीज हैं, इस सबका पता लगेगा। Citizens can go to this app and see कि उनके एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज भी देख सकते हैं, उनका एफिडेविट्स भी इसी जगह में देख सकते हैं। वो देख सकते हैं कि उनके कैंडिडेट्स के ऊपर में कोई क्रिमिनल चार्ज तो नहीं है। और कैंडिडेट को 3 बार न्यूज़पेपर में ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट भी देना है कि मेरे ऊपर क्रिमिनल चार्जेस हैं। पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को भी ये बताना है एडवर्टाइजमेंट के थ्रू अपनी वेबसाइट पर दैट वो ऐसा कैंडिडेट क्यों नहीं चुन पाए जिसका क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड ना हो। वाई इट वॉज ए नेसेसिटी दैट दे choose somebody who has a criminal background. So friends, please convey this, expand this, amplify this particular app so that people can see, they have a right to know about their candidate, they can know about their candidate. हमने पूरे चुनाव में धन का दुरुपयोग रोकने के लिए अगेन एक पोर्टल बनाया है, इलेक्शन सीजर मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम। इसमें जितनी भी एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज हैं, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की, सब इस पोर्टल पे हैं। सबको क्या क्या डायरेक्शंस दी गई हैं ये मैं आपको अभी बताऊंगा। नेक्स्ट में जो इंटरनेशनल और बॉर्डर्स हैं उन पर बहुत ही सख्त विजिल रखने की स्पष्ट इंस्ट्रक्शंस दी गई हैं। देयर वुड बी पुलिस चेक पोस्ट, फॉरेस्ट चेक पोस्ट, एक्साइज चेक पोस्ट, कस्टम चेक पोस्ट एंड इन टोटल देयर वुड बी अराउंड 151 चेक पोस्ट। और इसके अतिरिक्त SSB, BSF और अदर एजेंसीज, कस्टम्स, एक्साइज एंड नारकोटिक्स ये भी बहुत सख्त तरीके से इन दिनों में बॉर्डर पे चेकबाल रखेंगे, ऑल द इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर्स। अगर क्या उनको डायरेक्शन दी गई है मैं आपको बताऊं तो आज की मीटिंग में सुबह में सभी एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज को बुलाया गया था। स्टेट पुलिस, एक्साइज, GST, नारकोटिक्स, SSB, BSF, कोस्ट गार्ड्स, DRI, एवरीवन, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, उनसे कहा गया है कि मनी पावर पर बॉर्डर से किसी भी तरीके की ड्रग आने पर, लोगों के इधर से उधर आने पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई करेंगे और लीकर, ड्रग्स, फ्रीबीज को पूरी तरीके से रोकेंगे। चुनाव बिल्कुल इंड्यूसमेंट फ्री होना चाहिए। इसमें जो भी चीज़ लाने की लोग कोशिश करें, खासतौर से ड्रग, किसी भी नॉर्थ ईस्ट से आए, बॉर्डर से आए, मेनलैंड से आए, उसको 100% रोकने का प्रयास करेंगे। एंड दिस एक्शन यू विल सी इन टाइम्स टू कम। कार्रवाई भी छोटे लोगों के साथ साथ बड़े लोगों पर करें, जो किंग पिन्स हैं उन पर करें। ऐसा नहीं कि जो ड्रग और लिकर लेके लोग पेडलर्स हैं, जो हैंडलर्स हैं, उन पर ना करें, बल्कि उन पर तो करें ही, लेकिन जो किंग पिन्स हैं उसके पीछे में हैं उन पर करें। SLBC को कहा गया है, बैंकर्स को, कि कैश का मूवमेंट उनकी वैन्स में 5 बजे के बाद नहीं होगा। ऐसा नहीं कि एम्बुलेंसेज में, वैन्स में, इन सब में कोई भी कैश लेके इधर से उधर जाने की कोशिश करे। राज्य में जितने भी हेलीपैड्स हैं, एयरपोर्ट्स हैं, उन पर स्ट्रिक्ट विजिल रहेगी, चेकिंग होगी, उन पर फोर्स रहेगी। और डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट्स भी जब हेलीकॉप्टर्स को या प्लेन्स को अपने अपने एरिया में उतरने की परमिशन देंगे तो वो इनकम टैक्स को बताएंगे। और BCS जो एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल जो सूचना देता है वो भी खास तौर से देंगे, ताकि उस पर भी विजिल रखा जा सके। वेयर हाउसेज जितने भी हैं उस पर GST देखभाल रखेगी। सो ऑल द एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज वुड वर्क इन क्लोज कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड नॉट इन साइलोज, so as to ensure that elections are not only violence free but also inducement free. How it will be violence free, I'll come to the next, what the district magistrates and SSPs have been told. Absolutely, this is what political parties ask, and strong instructions have been given very clear to the district magistrate, SPs, IGs, all the senior officers that they have to be impartial, transparent and accessible to all political parties equally to provide level playing field. उनको ये भी कहा गया है कि अभी से पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के साथ डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर भी रेगुलर मीटिंग करें और वो रेगुलर मीटिंग करते करते उनको बुलाएं और उनकी जो भी शिकायतें उसको सुने और उसका लिखित जवाब वापस उनको दें. वी वर्क ऑन 3 बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स. We disclose whatever we do, we disclose. We involve whatever any stakeholder wants to tell us. We listen to political parties, candidate, involve and give them a reply. Media is present in all our activities every time. Movement ho, ER role ho, machines ka movement ho, everywhere media is involved. So it's transparency, transparency, transparency. Police officials and these district level officials have been told कि नीचे के स्तर पर पुलिस स्टेशंस, रेवेन्यू स्टाफ, एक्साइज स्टाफ, ये उनकी जिम्मेदारी है कि वो उनको जो काम उनको करना है वो काम करें और उसके अतिरिक्त कुछ इधर उधर की चीजें ना करें. ये स्पष्ट बताया गया है. अगर वो उसको कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाएंगे तो दे आर लायबल टू बी टेकन एक्शन अगेंस्ट. There is absolutely zero tolerance to any violence in democracy, and this is what has been very, very clearly, repeatedly, forcefully explained, and they have all committed to us that they will do it. We will see that it gets implemented, and if any mid-course correction has to be done, we will not hesitate in doing. Sufficient CAPF will come. It will be deployed in a impartial manner. How will it be deployed? The SPNO from the State Police Nodal Officer, CO, Mr. Arij, and the Central Observer who will come. 3 of them will decide the CAPF where it should go, what is the requirement. तो तीनों CO साहब रहेंगे, स्टेट के पुलिस नोडल अफसर रहेंगे, सेंट्रल के ऑब्जर्वर हमारे ऑब्जर्वर रहेंगे, तीनों मिलके करेंगे ताकि कहीं कोई पार्शियलिटी का प्रश्न आए. और जब डिस्ट्रिक्ट में पहुंच जाएंगे तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट में भी डीएम, एसपी और सेंट्रल ऑब्जर्वर मिलके करेंगे ताकि अगेन उनका इफेक्टिव यूटिलाइजेशन हो. सीएपीएफ का प्लान भी हम सबसे शेयर करेंगे, कहाँ जा रही हैं, क्या कर रही हैं, ताकि उनके ऊपर ऐसा कोई ना कहे कि आपने इधर भेजा उधर नहीं भेजा. सबको वोटर इंफॉर्मेशन स्लिप्स कम से कम 5-6 दिन पहले सबको मिलेंगी. अगर किसी का आधार कार्ड नहीं है तो उसको और 12-13 हमने डॉक्यूमेंट्स दिए हुए हैं, उन सबकी मदद से भी वो वोट डाल सकते हैं. इट इज नॉट मैंडेटरी टू कीप द आईडी कार्ड. ये एपिक के साथ भी है, अगर बाई चांस नहीं है और वोटर स्लिप आई है तब भी वो वोट डाल सकते हैं. इम्पर्सोनेशन या जिसको यहाँ छापा वोटर भी बोलते हैं, वो सबको रोकने के लिए बहुत स्पष्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए हैं कि अगर कोई इम्पर्सोनेशन की कोशिश करे, डुप्लीकेट वोट डालने की कोशिश करे, छापा वोटिंग की कोशिश करे, तो इमीडिएटली सेक्शंस रिलेवेंट हैं आईपीसी की, उनमें क्रिमिनल केस करें, उनको रोकें. जितनी भी पार्टीज आपसे लेके आगे तक कंप्लेंट्स करती हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट में या सीओ साहब के यहाँ, उनका निराकरण करके उनको लिखित जवाब दिया जाए कि आपने ये कहा था, ये सच पाया गया, इस पर रिएक्शन हुआ, ये सच नहीं पाया गया, आपने गलत शिकायत की थी. ऑल स्टोरेज ऑफ द ईवीएम्स विल बी बाई ए 3-tier सिक्योरिटी रिंग. Inner ring of the CAPF, outer ring of the state armed police and the further outer ring of the state police. बहुत सारी फेक न्यूज इस समय में, चुनाव के समय में चलती है. फेक न्यूज को रोकने के लिए अंडर द रिलेवेंट प्रोविजंस ऑफ द IT Act, IPC, the mechanisms have been put in place. There is a control room in every district which will be set up, an integrated control room, which will keep seeing the media, what is happening, which will keep seeing the CCTV footage, which will look at complaints coming from 1950, which will look at various social media handles to know what is happening, what is the negative narrative coming, and what is the information coming. We will tackle it very, very strongly and very, very methodically. So friends, हम लोग पूरी तरीके से चुनाव को निष्पक्ष और प्रलोभन मुक्त तरीके से कराने के लिए कटिबद्ध हैं. आपके माध्यम से मैं सभी बंगाल के सभी वोटर्स को रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूं, अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं, आग्रह करना चाहता हूं, उनसे गुहार लगाना चाहता हूं कि वो वोटिंग करने जरूर आए और प्रलोभन मुक्त माहौल में आए। अगर कहीं ऐसी जरूरत होगी जिससे कि ये लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड या प्रलोभन या वायलेंस होगी, हम कॉन्स्टेंटली नजर रखेंगे, इंटरवीन करेंगे। मीडिया इज वन ऑफ द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट एलाइज वी हैव इन द इलेक्शन कमीशन, बिकॉज आपके थ्रू हम बात सुनते हैं, हमें पता लगती है और आप ही की थ्रू हम अपनी बात इतने बड़े इलेक्टरेट्स को पहुंचाते हैं। सो प्लीज हमारी वोटिंग की अपील, सी विजिल का ऐप, नो योर कैंडिडेट, यंग वोटर्स, महिला वोटर्स से अपील को भी आप आगे तक पहुंचाएं। इसके साथ बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for those very detailed remarks. The floor is now open for questions. I would request to please peacefully raise your hands. Michael will come to you. We will take few questions in a single round. Aapke paas, please. Yeah. Please introduce yourself and ask your question.
मेरा नाम संजय सूर है, मैं आर प्लस न्यूज से बिलोंग करता हूँ। मेरा ये प्रश्न है कि सर पूरा देश में सिर्फ वेस्ट बंगाल में
एक सेकंड,
आवाज नहीं पहुंच रहा है।
आपकी आवाज इको कर रही है, माइक थोड़ा सा दूर कर लीजिए।
क्या आप सुन पा रहे हैं मेरे को?
थोड़ा दूर रखना।
कैन यू हियर मी?
यस, बेटर।
सर आप पूरा देश में सिर्फ वेस्ट बंगाल में करीब 900 से ज्यादा सीआरपीएफ का बंदोबस्त कर रहे हैं। क्या आप मानते हैं कि पूरा देश में सिर्फ वेस्ट बंगाल ऐसा एक स्टेट है जो सबसे डिस्टर्ब स्टेट है?
नेक्स्ट
Please, madam. Yeah, please.
सर
माइक प्लीज दिस साइड।
एक सेकंड। We'll come.
Yeah, please.
He will come.
No, he's coming to.
Hello.
Okay, he's coming to.
Am I audible? बहुत सारे लोगों से बात की, एसपीडीएम से बात की, तो इस बातचीत के बाद आप लोगों का क्या सोच है बंगाल की लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के बारे में? ये पहला चीज़ है। और दूसरा जो सवाल है कि यहाँ का जो रूलिंग पार्टी है उन्होंने 1 दिन की पोल की मांग की है, तो उसके बारे में भी आपका क्या सोच है सर?
Thank you. Please, that side.